I start the recording section. So everyone is clear now in the position.
Yes, bro.
Okay, so today what we going to do? So yesterday we saw that static, relative, absolute, and fixed. Okay, so today we start the CSS pseudo classes and pseudo element. This is not an important part because when you getting into some interview, they will ask you some tricky questions using this pseudo classes and pseudo element. Okay, so that's why I wanted to. So this is also very helpful when you creating some decent project without using any class. You can able to select the elements inside the div like that way. So I will give you the example how it actually works. So now what I do, I'm just going to put 4 CS as the fourth day. I take this here.
Bro, can you share the screen?
Yeah, 1 minute. Okay, so we'll start. Okay, screen is visible, right?
Yes, bro.
Yeah, okay. So yesterday we saw that static. So every element are going or actual default static. Okay, so that static position we cannot able to use the top or left, right, bottom. The relative is where the actual element is sitting. In that place, it in that from that place only the element will move. If you give the position left or top or bottom or right. Absolute is kind of different. If the parent is relative, the parent will control the inner child of absolute. So if the parent is not relative, the child is always look to the top of the browser corners. Okay, so the fixed is always, if the parent is relative or non-relative, always the children or the element look for the browser top or the four corners. Okay, so okay, so today we see that pseudo classes and pseudo element. Okay, so the I will give you the example. Okay, pseudo, just I will show you the definitions. Okay, I'm not a person always show the practice. Okay, this is pseudo class. Okay, pseudo class is no problem. Wait, the pseudo, actually the pseudo element is you can select the first letter and the first line of the paragraph kind of thing. Okay, I will show you. Wait. So what are pseudo elements? Okay, the pseudo elements is used to style specified part of an element. For example, the first style the first letter or line of an element, insert content before after content of the alignment. I just take this out, okay, because I'm not having in my PDF, so I just paste it here and comment it. Okay, so this one is index.html, then style.css. Just give some text here. Okay, so here you can here I just have this text. Okay, the definition of the what is pseudo element. So the pseudo element, what is the pseudo element? A pseudo the CSS pseudo element is used to style the specified part of an element. So I will give you the practical example. So here we do I want to link my style.css. So I did. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have some bro may please mute. Okay, so here I just give lorem some dummy text. I'm creating some dummy text here. Okay, so here I call the paragraph and I change the text color to red. Okay, so now I open it in my browser. So if you see the text color is red color now. Okay, so wait, I will zoom in. Okay, now the text color is red color. Okay, so that's what I gave the property in CSS. So now the pseudo element always takes the two dot after the P. Okay, so this is the pseudo element selector. So two dot and the curly brace open and close. So here you can select the first pseudo. Here you can see. first letter. Okay, the first letter color should be in a color is green, and the first letter font size is 50 pixel. Okay, I'm just selecting the first letter of that paragraph. So if I come here, you see I change the first letter and the first letter color and font size. Okay, so this is the pseudo element. We are selecting the specific part of the actual element. So the maybe that first letter or first line. For example, if I do that first line, so we never use anywhere in our project. Okay, so don't worry about that. We never use this. Why I'm teaching you this? Because in interview they will ask you. So just to remember, they will ask you only this two only. Okay, the first letter and the first line. Just give the explain definition by this. Okay, if they ask what are pseudo element, just give the definition. That's it. Okay, so you never use in your project. So I'm not going to go deep into this. Okay, this is waste of time. Actually, we are learning. Just know this. Okay, because they will ask you in an interview. So the first line, so already you guess what is going to happen now in the first line. If I change the first line is to blue violet, so I just change the color for first line. Okay, so you see now the first letter I target for the green color and the font size is 50, and the first line only change. Okay, not the second line. You see, I'm just targeting the first line. There is no selector for the select second line, only for the first line. Okay, so this is pseudo element. Okay, so what is pseudo class? Next I just copy the definition. Okay, here from it here, so I just copy the definition. So the pseudo classes, what are pseudo classes? So now the pseudo classes, a pseudo class is used to define a specific special state of an element. For example, it can be used to style an element when the user mouse over it, style visit and unvisit the link differently, style an element when it get focused. So actually it's not gonna work, so I just take this. You just if the interview asks what is pseudo class, you give this definition. Okay, so style an element when a user mouse over on it, and style an element when it get focused. So I will give you the example what it mean. So now what I'm going to do, so here I'm going to create some button here. Okay, so this button takes a click me. So I have another selector also. There is another selector for before and after. Now what I do in here, I just create some h4 here. Hello. Okay, I just gave that hello here inside the h4. So I just close this out. So now the hello is printing here. Okay, because I gave it here as a hello. Now I just command this out. So what there is a before and after pseudo element. Okay, so how it actually work? So h1 takes a before. Okay, before, inside you have to give the content. Okay, here what you have to give, hey, you can give whatever you want, the image url or the string or some the image url or something. Like I will give you the example when we get into the project. So where we want to, where we going to use this kind of concept, the before and after, where which way we will use. Okay, so now just understand the basics. So now if I come here, h4 okay, sorry, that one is h4. So you see now the hey is printed before to that hello. Okay, so if I give the space here, I can get the space. Okay, hey hello. So already you, I know you will guess. I think if I give the after here, hey buddy, what it will do, it will append next to that hello. Okay, so hey hello buddy. So here if I cannot able to select the hey and buddy. Okay, so the string, this is actually coming from the element, this is coming from pseudo element. We cannot able to actually select this. Okay, it is not from, you cannot able to change the data also from the when we are actually selecting in the javascript. I will give you the example when we get into the javascript. I have some concept to how to use this kinds of concept instead of using before and after. Okay, I will give you the example when we get into javascript. So now just understand the pseudo element change the first letter and the first line, and there is a concept called before and after. You can append that you can append something before to the element or after to the element. Okay, so this is the basic of, not the basic, this is the actual thing. How do we actually select the pseudo element? So what is pseudo class? So the pseudo class is used to define a special state of an element. For example, style an element when the user mouse over it. So here I have a button. Okay, so I'm going to style this button here. So I take the button and I change the background color to blue. Okay, so the blue, and the inside color is the text color is white. Okay. So white and font size, I'm increasing some font size to 18 pixel. So now if I come back here, you see the font size is 80 pixel, background is blue, and now there is a border. Okay, so if you use the default button, the button always has the border. So most of the time we not use the border, so I take that border. Okay, so the border none. So if I give border none, so now there is no border, and I will just add some padding here. I need inside spacing. Okay, so top and bottom 8 pixel, left and right is 15 pixel. I need some padding. So if I see the button got some bit bigger. Okay, so I added some padding here. So the example what I'm going to show you means when I mouse over to this button, I'm just going to change the background color of the button. Okay, so now I take this button. So the pseudo element takes a two. Okay, two what this name called, I think
Colon.
colon, right? So the two colon. Okay, so the for the button, for the pseudo classes they use only the one colon. Okay, so the hover, it takes the hover, hover. When I hover the button, I want to change the background color to red. Okay, so if I come back here, now I am not hovering the button. When I just take my cursor inside to the button, it's changing the color. Okay, so it should work for every element, not only for the button. It should work for div element, it should work for paragraph, everything. You can use the hover element. Okay, we'll just have some other deep example when we get into the projects. Okay, when we hover the boxes and all, how we give some animation kind of things. Okay, so now just I'm giving the basics. Don't worry, when we get into the project, we're going to cover a lot of things. So on that time only, it's a good it's a good way to teach you all of the concept. Okay, so if I just give the all of the things how it actually work, you don't know where you want to implement that ideas, right? So I will give you all the concept when we get into the project. So now just remember that these concept will work like this way. Okay, so the hover is when you hover the element, it change the background color. So now it's actually changing some very fast. Okay, we can control the speed of the transition. So now what I'm going to do, in the button, I'm just going to add some transition here. Okay, the transition takes background. Just copy and paste what the property you want to make a transition. Okay, I'm just give it as a 3 seconds. Okay, here the first property is 3 seconds. So the background color, and I'm giving 3 seconds. So now what is going to happen, it takes 3 seconds to change the color. Okay, so you see it takes 3 seconds to change the color. So here you can add one more parameter, that is called one more value here, that is called delay. Okay, it work after 1 seconds. Okay, so if I come back and if I hover this, it wait for 1 second. After 1 second only the color should change. Okay, so this is you are targeting what property you want to transition, and how many seconds the delay, how many seconds it should wait for to happen the animation, the transition, and how many seconds it should want to take to run that animation. Okay, the transition. So this is the transition property. Now we change the hover. So now here what I'm going to do, another example. Here I'm just going to have some anchor tag here, uh, link 1 2 3. Okay, so and also I'm going to have some input here, input text. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just to target the a. Okay, okay, so I should want to teach you the first class. Okay, so this one is okay. Now what I do, I just wrap this I just put it in a ul. Okay, inside ul I'm having a, a takes link 1 2 3. So now I'm going to ask you some question. Okay, I want to change the first color of the link. What you will do? Okay, I want wait, I will give you some clear explanation. So I'm targeting the ULLIA. I'm giving the color to red to the all A. Okay, inside the A. So the everything is actually now red color. So I want to change the first anchor tag to blue color. What would you do?
Double colon first line, sir.
What? You no. Forgot this. Okay, this is not the concept. Forgot this. I'm just asking you what you will do if you want to change the first anchor tag.
Name and doing like that, sir.
So you give some class kind of things, right?
Yes, sir.
So for example, you can give some class here. So the class is link one, like that way. Okay. So I can target the link one. I can able to change the first link here, because the second one, third one has not it's actually not having the link one of the class. So now I can change the color to blue. Okay. So now the first letter, the first anchor tag changed to the blue color. So this is one way. There is another way. Okay. So that is what came in pseudo classes. Style and element, mouse over, and also they are actually here not a definition. I will show you in a practical way. So ULLI A, I'm going to target the first child. Okay. Color to blue. So if I, okay, the here this is not a proper way. Li first child. Okay, the first child of the Li, and I'm targeting the A. Inside the Li only, it's going to change the blue color. Okay, so what I did here, I target the UL Li first child, because inside only I'm having the A. Okay, so the first child of the Li, inside we are having a tag. Okay, if I remove this class, so you know that if you use the class and we can target the actual class and we can change the name. So there is another option in a pseudo classes. You can use the first child. Okay, so I'm targeting the Li first child. It's going to target the first Li. Okay, not the second and third one. I'm changing that A color to blue. What if I want to change the second child? How can I give the so okay, so wait, I will just give you another example. So here I'm going to change the last child A to somewhat green color. Okay, change it to green color. So now the last color changed to green color. So this one is red, because the default color we gave it as a red color. So I want to change the second child also. I just command this out. Okay, second child also. What can I do? Just give me some idea what we do.
We can use second child.
Yeah,
LA
okay.
second
So
child.
second child, we can target the second child. Okay, so if I do like so, okay, if you see, if I'm typing something like this, okay, so it's actually showing the blue color. What that means, there is no syntax like that way. You cannot able to there is no syntax to target the second or third child. Okay, so to do that, if you want to select the second child, you have to use the nth child. Okay, the nth child, and you have to give the number. So Li
-1.
A. Okay, nth child to A. If I come back
Okay.
here, so I change this color to somewhat orange. Okay, this time. So if I come back here, now you see the L link and this 2 and this 3 all different color. Okay, because there is no second child, third child, fourth child. There is only a first child and the last child. So if you want to select the third or fourth child, you want to use the nth child too. So if you can ask, what if I use the nth child here and change it to 1? It will work. It will also work. Okay, change it to instead of first child, you can it also work. Okay, so you can actually, what you're doing here, you are targeting using the child. Okay, the node of child. So you understand this, right?
Yes, I understand that. I have confusion on the above one.
This one.
No, the element and the class. So we selected H4. H4 is also an element and button is also an element. So how we use 2 colons and single colon.
Yeah, no, don't worry. Okay, so you're not gonna use anywhere this one. Okay, so if you type this H4 and if you want to use the before, it's the syntax will show here. Okay, Don't confuse about that. This is not you don't want to worry about these kinds of things. So you have to worry about thinking about the logic only. Okay, don't worry about syntax and the programming language. Okay, so this is just a syntax. You are actually learning the grammar of the programming language. That's it. So syntax doesn't matter. If you go and search for the syntax in Google, you can find the syntax, but the logic you are not able to find. You have to think the own logic. Okay, so don't worry about the syntax. Just
Okay,
for
sir.
the element, if you once you practice this, you will understand easily. Okay, so it's for the first time. No, it's only very hard to remember, but once we get into the project, we use actually repeatedly these things. Okay, so that time you will remember easily. Don't worry about that. Okay, so this one is the pseudo. Now you understand this, right? The pseudo classes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you have any doubt, you can pin me on the chat, or you open the mic and interrupt me. Okay, even when I'm teaching you, don't no problem about that. So the pseudo class, we can select the individual child using the nth child or the first child and the last child. If the child is first or last, for example, if now I am going to create another UL, here I'm going to create a OL. Okay, so the OL LI takes the item 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I'm just going to target the UL here. So OL, sorry, the OL LI, and I'm just changing the color to green. Okay, so now every LI got changed to the green color. So because we target all OL LI. Okay, so now I want to change the first one. Forgot about the class. Okay, forgot about the class. Already I told you that first child and the nth child and the last child. So I want to change the first child. I want to change the first element to red color. What syntax I want to use?
Well, LI
OL,
first child.
Yeah,
semicolon,
okay.
first
Yeah,
child.
okay, super. So here I can use the LI colon first child to color blue. Okay, so now this first child got changed to the blue color. What if I want to change the last child?
Well, LI
OL,
last
LI,
child.
last child.
Okay, so I can target the last child, but there is no third or fourth syntax to select the second, third, fourth child. So for that, what we use?
nth child.
Yeah, so that's it. Okay, so if you want to target the second or third or fourth child, we can call it as a nth child. 2 color should yeah, green, like this green. Okay, so now this color is changed. So for I'm just changing to the 3 and 4. Okay, 3 and 4. So here I'm changing to this blue, and this one I'm changing to yellow. Okay, so yellow color. So now each and every color are individual. Okay, because we use that first class, first child, last child, and nth child. Okay, so some people will always add lot of classes in the element. That is actually a noob kind of coding. Okay, but when we get into the project, we're not gonna use lot of classes kind of things. We always use to select the child using this nth child or the first child. There is another way to select the children also. You combinator. I will explain you when we when which level I want. I know which level I want to explain that. I will explain you to that the combinator also. Okay, so now you understand this first child and the last child and the nth child, right?
Yes, bro.
Sir, will it work like n child 4 minus 1 for third one?
Yeah, you can give that. I think there is another option also. N plus 1. I think n plus 1. I think what is actually what happened. 1, 2, 3. 1 n plus. I will give you that example tomorrow. Okay, I have not used that anywhere, so I will give you that tomorrow. So there is another option also. I just make this to 6. Okay, I know that, but I will give you that example tomorrow. Okay, so here what I do now, for the this one is fifth one. Okay, there is another way also. We can use the odd or even also. I forgot that to tell you. So this one is 5. So I just change to the pink, and this one is the last child. I will give you that tomorrow. That okay, the nth child. How can we call the nth minus 1? There is a way that I will give you that tomorrow. That example.
Okay, sir.
So this one is green. Okay. So here we have a 6th child. So Now I just command it. Okay, I just command this out, and also I just take this out. Okay, even if start it's a black color. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to target the OLLI, sorry, ONLI nth child to odd. Okay, color to blue. Only the odd color number going to change the blue. Okay, so if I use the even here, the even color, even number of element change to this red color. Okay, so if I come back here, you see the odd color are changed to the blue. Okay, so the even color are changed to the red color. So I will give you an example when we get into the project where we use the odd and even for the tables we use, there is a lot of columns, no? So differentiate the table, we use the odd or even to change some little color differentiate. Okay, don't worry brother, I will give you the tomorrow the n plus 1 and n minus 1. Okay, so I have not used anywhere in my project, but that's why I'm not good at it. Okay, so tomorrow I'll research about it and I will give you the example. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so yeah, okay, so this one this one the odd and even. So now we get into this input element. Okay, so the input, so now I have the input, I can target the input directly here. So I target the input takes the padding, top and bottom is 8 pixel, left and right is 25 pixel, and the border I need some I don't want the border. Okay, so here I just give some placeholder takes enter a name. So what does the actual the placeholder makes it, it gives some dummy placeholder here. Okay, if I type something here, it should disappear, but it will always show here. Okay, for the user experience, user want to know what should the user want to type here, no? So the focus, there is a focus, no, in style and element. When it get focus, the focus is only for the input element. Okay, so how can I target the focus? So the input element focus, okay, the focus background color change to red. I'm changing the input color. When I focus the input, the background color is going to change to the red color. So now if I focus this, the color change to red color. Okay, this is what the focus. Okay,
Hover and focus are the same.
what bro?
Hover and focus both are same.
Hover, no, hover is only for the buttons. Okay, the button or some other element. Focus is when the cursor is actually, you see the typing cursor is when the typing cursor is activated inside this input element. Okay, then only it should
Okay.
change to the red color. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, okay, so now what we do, so do you have any doubts in this concept, the pseudo element and pseudo classes?
No, no.
Okay, so now what we do, please, if everyone if you have any doubt, please let me know in the comment. Okay, so that I'm not getting answers from all people, so that's what I'm just keep on asking again and again. So let me know please in the chat if you understand or not. So the Figma understood, sir. Okay, thank you. Now what we do, so so where is that web page? Okay, so thank you brother. Okay, understood, thank you. Okay, so far we learned some basics. Okay, so now we going to create some web page using the basic what we learned from the previous sections. Okay, so now we can able to create this kinds of small banner or web page. Okay, small web page using what we learned so far. So now I'm going to create this one using I'm actually not going to create. You have to tell me what should I want to. Now I'm going to ask you a lot of questions now. Okay, so you have to answer the questions. So inside this itself, I'm just create some website called I just gave it a folder name called first web page. Okay, inside I make index.html and another file is style.css. So I just close all these files. Okay, this is my first web page. Okay, so default properties we always use I teach you the star.
No, sir.
No, bro.
Okay, so I will teach you that also. So no problem. So now what I'm going to do? Okay, so here I'm going to have some h1 hello, h2, then h3, h3. Okay, so and also the paragraph to lorem. So okay, so it's enough, I think. So if I open this out, so you see my style is actually empty. Okay, even I link if I wait, I link my style here. So the style, I linked my style here. My style is actually empty. I have not called any tags or classes here. It is empty. So now I inspect the browser tool. Okay, so this is a developer tool. So now I'm coming back to my box model. Okay, this is the box model. So I just click this icon, inspect icon. I'm inspecting the paragraph, the h1. You see the h1 is having a margin. Okay, even though we have not gave any margin to the h1 in our styling. So if I target the h2, h3 or paragraph, it has some margin. Okay, why? Because defaultly the browser will add some margin to the html elements, okay, for the every element. So to do that, to this is some big problem, okay, because when the designer is giving you some design to you make some web development, if that margin has defaultly, it is very hard to create some your own margin and spacing in your project, okay. So there is a way to hide the take out the margin. So I can target the margin h1 margin 0 pixel. If I do like this, so now there is no margin for h1. You see there is no margin. So the same way I can target the h2 also, okay. So the h2, so now the h2 has not having any margin here. So the same way for the h3. So instead of targeting like this way, we can target all of the element using star. Okay, so if I change the color to red, it should change all the element to red. So what does it mean? It's actually selecting all the element in the document. So that's what the star mean. Okay, understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
now, yeah, okay. So now what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to give margin 0 pixel. I'm offing the margin and padding to all of the element defaultly in the top. Okay, so every element now doesn't have the margin and padding. So if I come back here, all element are now not having the margin and padding, because we select all the element using the star and we gave margin 0 and padding 0 pixel. Okay, so this is how what's the star selector is. Okay, so now we ready to create our first web page. So here I take this out. You understand the star, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we get into the Figma. So here we have some logo. Okay, I already taught you that semantic tags. You remember that?
Header.
Yeah, the header and the section and the footer. Okay, so we can specify the sections. So this is the header part, this is the navigation part, this is the section part, this is the footer part. Okay, so I'm just going to use the header for this logo, where the logo is actually visible. So here I'm having a header. I need a container. Okay, so for example, I open my whiteboard here. So in school time we use margin. Okay, so for example, this is a A4 sheet. So we used to write some letter when we in a school, right? So what we do, we put some line here in the left side of the A4 sheet. Here the blank space, we leave the blank space, or we fold the paper little bit, right, for some little bit. Okay, so this is a margin actually. So this is okay for the paper. So what we do in a web means, so for the web, how the margin will actually work. So this is the browser. Okay, so this is the actual browser. So how the margin goes means, here some margin, here some margin. Okay, so the content goes from here to here, here to here. This content should not go out from this margin. Okay, So this it's actually follow the structure. So we need some white space for the left side and the right side in a equal spacing. Okay, so how do we create this margin? Now that's the second question. Now if you see the design, this is the 100%. So the browser is start from 0 to 100 here, but the logo is not starting from 0 to 100. 0 to 0 started from the 0. It's actually starting from some it's minusing some value here. No, so it's coming to the right side. So how do we do that? Means, so here I'm going to add some container class. Okay, so the container, so here I've just make sure to have some hello here. Okay, so now for example, so I'm just targeting the container class here. So the container takes margin. Okay, first what I do, I just give some width here. Okay, so defaultly the width is 100%. Now I'm changing the 100% for the container only, not for the header. Okay, I'm just changing the width to the container 80%. So now it's 80%. So if I come back to my project, now I'm hovering the hello. Okay, you see the hello is actually selecting. Okay, now I'm come back here. Okay, yeah, okay, so okay, now you see the container. Okay, so the container is now visible. The content places, the content actually available space is blue color. Okay, you see there is a orange color in right side. It's a blank space. Okay, one, why? Because we actually modified that 100% to 80% to the container. Inside whatever you are using, that going to control by this container. All of the element are going to control by container. This children not go away from this out from this container. Okay, so it's wrapped inside this. For example, I take this h4 here. Okay, so I just put some lorem and 500 text. Okay, so you see this paragraph is not going outside of the container width. Okay, it's a 80% because we mutate mean we change something. Okay, the 80%, so we actually gave that 80%. So the here to here 100%, here to here 80%, so here to here is 80%. So now I have 20% to the right side. But now what I want to do, I want to take the 10% to the left side and 10% stay in the right side itself. So what should I going to do? Means here I'm just going to call the margin. So the margin top and first parameter is the margin top and bottom is should be in a 0 pixel. So the left and right should be in a auto. Okay, I'm just giving a auto. So coming back here, now what happened here, I'm just hovering the container. You see, last time I show you the orange color, it was completely in the right side. But now what happened when we gave that auto, the 10% come to the left side and 10% stays into the right side. Okay, so this is what the auto will do, and this is how do we want to create a margin in our web page. Okay, so if I come back here, you see there is a value in the both side for the left and the right for the container. 125 126 126. So the total 126 126 how much? 126 plus 126 is 252. Okay, so now if I off the container margin, there is a 252 there is a 252 white space available inside after the here in the right side. Okay, so if I gave the margin 0 pixel to auto, now it actually divided by 2. 126 came to the right, 126 stays in the 126 came to the left, and 126 stays in the right side. Okay, so this is how the margin will work. You are going to create like this way in all of the upcoming websites. Okay, so this is the how do we create a margin. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so anyone have any doubt? If you have any doubt, please let me know in my comments, the chat also. Okay, so now what we going to do, now we created a margin. Okay, everything is good. So I take this paragraph out. So here I want to give a h4. Okay, some h4 takes a logo. Okay, good. So I'm coming back here. The logo is now sitting here. Okay, so what where I want to give the color now?
To the container.
Okay, to the container, right? So now if I target the color here, okay, if you select this one, I will send you the Figma also. Okay, just watch what I'm doing. If you click this one, it show the color into the right side. The value is fill. Okay, I can copy the color using, I'm just clicking that input, I'm copying using Control C. I'm coming back to my style.css. Here I'm target, here we have the container. Brother says we want to add in a container. So now I add the color to the container. Okay, so if I come back here, now the color is not full with 0 to 100%. It only filled with 0 to 80%.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Because we have given the margin 20%.
Yeah, so we are
We have
actually
to
modified the width of that
add a
container. Okay, so 0 to 80%. So now where should I want to give the content color?
header.
Header. Yeah, so now I target the header. Why? Because the header now having 0 to 80%. Okay, so here I'm targeting a background color and I'm cut it off that from there and paste it here. Now we have 0 to 100% color. Okay, so now I need a spacing in the top and the bottom. What should I want to give, margin or padding?
Padding.
Okay, why?
We have to create inner gap.
Super. So in top and bottom is 15 pixel, left and right is 0 pixel. So now we got some padding here. Okay, so we here we use some other fonts. Okay, I'll just show you how to implement the font also. If you see, they use, if I click the text here, okay, so for example, if I click the text here, it show what are the font type, font families and font size and font size, weight and all the things it will show here in the right side. So they use the pop-ins for this font. So I'm going to do, I'm just going to open the Google fonts here, Google font. So this Google font, just deselect all this, is previously for one project I selected. Okay, so this is the Google font web page. Okay, so this is a web, what happened? Okay, so this is a Google font web page. I want, I can select some of the font and I can use the, why it's actually doing, having like some issue, I don't know. Google, what happened? Wait 1 minute. I think there's some catchy problem or their server problem, I think. I don't know why the web page is slow. I don't know. There is some problem. Okay, no problem. We can check that later. Okay, so no problem. Now we can use the default font itself. No problem. So now we have the logo. Now I want to change the logo color to white. What property I want to use?
Color.
Color. So where, in which
H4,
element I want to
H4.
use? To the H4, right? So the header is parent. I can call the header and I can target the H4. Okay. So I'm targeting the header. Inside the header H4 only, change to the white color. Okay. This is how the way you want to target also. So I'm gave it to white. So now the color changed to white color. So now everything is good. So here I'm having a navigation. Okay. Here, just 1 minute. So here I'm having a navigation. There is a semantic tag called nav. Okay, so when we when we get into another kind of project, the navigation always stays like this kind of structure. Okay, because here the logos goes, here the navigation link goes, but we have not learned flex. Okay, when we, after we learn flex, we can create this kind of structure. So now I'm keeping like this way. Okay, so because we actually covered some basics. Okay, with that basics, this is what we just create. Okay, just actually creating. So now I'm having another I'm just going to create some another section called nav section. So I have a semantic tag for nav. So nav means the navigation simply means we can navigate to some other pages. Okay, to the home, to service to contact, like that way. So here I'm going to call the ul, okay, not the ulli. Here I'm going to call a tag, directly the a tag. So the first one is home, services, and contact.
Contact.
So now I got home service contact. Why it's starting from here, not from here?
Because initially we give the margin and 0.
No, 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 no.
We have not given style, sir.
We are not actually called the container class to this A. Okay. Because this container class is only wrapping 80% of the width. So to do that, I want to wrap that A tag inside the container class. Okay. So if I do that, so now it should start from here. Okay. Understand? Okay. So previously we have not had that container. So it should start from here. Okay. So that's the reason. So why now A tag is coming next to each other, not in a next line?
Inline elements.
So it's a inline element. Okay. So now I default the A actually have a text decoration. I'm just off the text decoration to none. Now I cannot see that underline. Okay. So now I want to give some spacing to the right side. Okay. The right side. What property I want to use? The margin, padding or margin?
Padding.
Okay. So here, okay. For example, here what I do, for example, the padding. Okay. So the padding takes, I will give you the example. The padding, okay, sorry, not for the H4, nav A, right? So the nav A, I'm giving padding right. Okay. The padding right to 50 pixel only for the right side of the padding. So now we got the space, but what will happen means, you see, now you have to understand one thing carefully. So for the first one, I'm just giving some unfound link. Okay. .com. This is unfound link. I'm just giving some HTTP unfound link. Okay. This, okay. So if I click this one, it takes me, cannot find the first page. Okay. I'm just giving some example. If you give the padding, it's actually wrapping inside the space. Okay. Not the outside of the space. You see, if I click here, the home is actually clickable. Even if I click here, the home is actually clickable. We need outside of the spacing. Okay. Understand?
Okay.
So for example, if I give some background color here to red, you see, now until here the background got applied. Okay. Because if even if I click here, this take me to that page. So this is what the problem will happen when we use padding. It takes only the inside space. Okay. It is actually taking inside the space. I need the outside of the space. So to do that, I'm just giving a margin right. Okay. I'm just giving margin right. Okay. So now the background color got applied. So if I click here, it not take me to that page. Okay. Because it's only takes outside of the space. This link is actual content. Okay. Understand?
Yes, got it.
Okay. Super. Now I just take this out. So now what I'm going to do, now I'm not going to add any color. Okay. I need outside of the spacing of this link. What property I want to use? Top, in the top side. I want the top spacing outside of the spacing. I want to give the margin top, right? I'm speaking about the outside space of the element, not the inside space.
Margin.
Margin. Okay. So margin. So this is a inline element, right? So this is an inline element. So I'm giving margin top to 15 pixel, 50 pixel. So the margin is not working. Okay. The margin right works, but the margin top doesn't work. You see the margin property applied here. Okay. The margin top got applied to the all the A tag, even though it's not actually giving me some space. Okay. So you see in the box model also it got applied 50 pixel, but I cannot able to see the space. Why means for the inline element, the margin top and bottom should not work. Okay. Even if I give some margin bottom here, it should not work. If I hover this, now you see this margin bottom is not working. The top and bottom is not working. To work this margin top and bottom, and also the syntax should behave like a inline behavior. Means what we want to do, we want to change the display inline. Okay, this is default. So this is the default display inline. Okay, so now nothing change. Okay, because that is the default. If what happen if I change this default inline to display block, what will happen? What is the definition of the block element?
It will go to another lines.
Yeah, it will take the total available space and start on a new line, right? So if we see now the margin is actually working, but it's not behave like a inline, right? This is not the way what we need, right? Because we need every A element next to each other. So it is not a good way. So the block takes the total width of the element and started on a new line. Okay, this is good. But there is another property called inline block. Okay, inline block. It behave same like a inline, but the margin top and bottom will work. So if I come back here, now it behave like a inline. Now the margin top and bottom is working. Okay, understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I just command this out. I don't need that margin for the explanation. I just gave you that example. Here, I'm targeting the nav here. So I'm just giving some padding. I need some inner space. So for the top and bottom, I need 15 pixel and the 0 pixel. So I need some background color here. I'm just putting some background color. The color should be in a some light kind of blue. Okay, so I'm copy and paste the color here. I'm actually copied from here and paste it my ID. So now the color got changed here. Okay, so I got the padding also. I want to change the text color here. So to do the text color, I want to target the A tag. So the color should be in a white. Okay, so now the color also changed to white color. Okay, so everything is good. Now this another part is this one. Okay, so here there is no tag for, there is no semantic tag for this banner, for we have a header nav tag. There is no tag for banner. Okay, we going to use a section tag. So the section tag, I'm giving a class called banner. Inside the banner, I'm going to have h1 takes hello, this is my first web page, and another paragraph. So here the paragraph, and I need some button, but here I'm not going to use the button tag, because when I click this button, it should take me to another page. Okay, we have not we can't able to give that hyperlink to this button tag. We want to use a anchor tag here, so that only we can able to give some link to here to navigate to some other page, right? So that I'm just going to use the anchor tag here to navigate to some other page. I'm just going to give a tag for now. I'm just giving you some hash. Okay, I'm not navigating to some other page. So here what the content is, click me, escape. Okay, so the click me a paragraph. One thing remember, okay, you always do mistake in a display inline block. You use margin top and bottom in a display inline block, but it never works. Okay, always remember. So for the inline element, the margin top and bottom should not work. You have to change the display inline to inline block that behave like a same kind of inline. Okay, so remember that in your mind. So now we have the banner here. So I'm just targeting the banner now. So now I'm coming back to here. So why this hello is starting from here? Again the same question. Why the hello is not starting from here? It's starting
did
from
not
the
mention
Container
that
class is
then.
not used.
yeah, we have not used the container class, so I have to wrap that inside the container. So I'm just giving the container here, and then putting all the content inside the container tag. So now if I go back, so this is starting from here. Okay, so I want to give some spacing to the bottom, to this heading one. Okay, because I have some margin, the space here. What property I want to give, margin or padding?
Margin top will work.
Okay, so the margin, right? So here what I'm going to do, I just give some this color is light gray. Okay, so we can give it like a gray, like this color. So now it has some background color here. Okay, so okay, now I want to give the h1 to the background to the dot banner. I'm targeting the class of the parent section, and inside I have h1. I want to give margin bottom as 25 pixel. I'm just giving 25 pixel. So now we got the spacing. The same concept apply for the paragraph also. If you want to apply the same property to both element, you can use the comma and you can call the banner paragraph. Okay, it should apply paragraph 2. You don't want to call again like this way paragraph and the copy and paste like this way. Okay, so here also you don't want to call like this way. If the both tags are applying the same style property, you can use the dot comma and you can call that another property. Okay, so another tag here. So now we got the spacing for here also. The 25 is I think very big. Okay, so now we have a margin here. Now I'm going to design this a tag. Okay, so dot banner a. I'm just giving some padding. I need the inside spacing padding, top and bottom 10 pixel, left and right is 25 pixel, and the background color is what the color is this color code. Okay, I'm just giving that, and inside a color is white. Okay, so now I got the button, and also I need some curve here. Okay, each corner. So I'm going to use border radius to 15 pixel. So now I not 15 pixel, I just it's kind of a round button. So now it's good, looking good. Okay, so everything is good now. Okay, I want to if you see here, the text all actually in a center alignment. Okay, what
Align.
prop what
Align.
yeah, so that what align,
So yesterday we used the align right.
yeah, it should be a text align. Okay, so for example, now if I show you something, okay, this h1 takes available space 0 to 80%. Okay, so you see 0 to 80% takes a actual spacing, so it's available here. I can place this actual element everywhere in this place. Okay, for example, I'm targeting the banner h1, only the banner h1. So text align left. Okay, so this is default because the text is actually sitting in the left side. What if I change this to right? What will happen?
Go to right side of
It
it.
goes to right side, right? So it now sitting in the right side. So what if I change to center?
It will sit in center.
Okay, now it actually come to center part. For the same, okay, for now the paragraph, we have a 3 line of break. Okay, so some people what they do, they use a break tag. Okay, don't use the break tag. Okay, don't use this break tag hereafter. So they use a break tag, so it should give some uh, line break. Okay, the line break, it gave some line break, but this is not a good way to do a breaking a line. So we not going to use this break tag hereafter. So you also don't use the break tag. So I'm just going to give the span here. And I'm going to give some I'm not going to give any class here. Okay, I can target the paragraph banner paragraph span. So now what I'm going to do, so I'm just take this out. Okay, for the example I gave that to you. So now why even if I add the span, it not change anything? Why?
Because it has space.
No, because it has an inline element. Okay, even if you add that have that span element inside that paragraph, it's all the inline element. So it takes only the necessary width, do not start in a new line. That's the definition, right? So there is no difference even when I add the span tag here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to target the banner paragraph span display inline. What's that? It's a default, right? It's not going to change anything, but I'm going to change it to block. Okay, display block. So now it got wrapped into each line, each to the next line. Okay, understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will tell you why we should not want to use the break tag when we get into the responsive design. Okay, so there, that is the good place to show you why I am not using the break tag. Okay, why I'm using this kinds of line breaking using the span and making a display block. Okay, I will give you that example. So I have only 7 minutes. Okay, so within that I will complete this. Okay, because I want to start the Tamil batch also. So now for example, I hover this banner. Okay, here the container, the banner. So now the banner is display block. Okay, because it takes 0 to 100% width. I can align the children inside to that. Okay, it's even center or right. So I'm just going to target the banner. I'm tomorrow I'll tell you why this button is came outside of the box. Okay, tomorrow I will tell you. So today I don't have time because that is some big concept, so I will tell you that tomorrow. I'll just make sure to show you that textile and center here. I'm just going to add textile and center. I'm not I don't want to target the banner, the h1 and paragraph and all. Okay, if I give the banner to textile and center, because the banner is takes total available with it, should align in a center. Okay, so I want to give spacing. Now I want to give some spacing and I also want to add this color. Okay, this is not a pure white, it's actually some other color. What should I want to do? The padding or the margin? I need some spacing here and here. What property I want to use, padding or margin?
Padding.
Okay, so first I will show you I will show you the margin. Okay, I add the margin. Top is 50, top and bottom 15 pixel, and left and right is 0 pixel, and the background color should be in a the color I copied from there. I show you what the problem will come if you use the margin. Okay, so I come back here. The margin, if I use the margin, it takes the outer space. The color should not apply to that place. Okay, that's the margin problem. Margin problem. So we need inside spacing. So I'm going to use, instead of margin, I'm going to call the padding. Okay, so now we got the spacing inside of that element. Okay, the banner element. So everything is good. Tomorrow the task is you want to create this footer and you want to make sure this created by student into the center. Okay, just I copy and send the color code in a group. Okay, I'll just put that color code in a group. I'll just stop my screen share here now. Sorry,